What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. While we've been preoccupied looking at the war in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, we've talked about the possibility of Iran getting involved, Turkey getting involved, Syria. We've talked about the United States sending in massive military resources into the region. We've talked about the possibility of Russia getting involved, and this all spread out into World War III and even nuclear war. And that is a possibility, and it is a huge threat. However, we've been looking over here while the UN, Bill Gates Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, the World Economic Forum, among other globalist elite organizations, have been working on putting in their, what they're now calling 50 and 5 agenda. This is from Our News Pipeline. The UN, Bill Gates, and the Rockefeller Foundation launched the 50 and 5 agenda to make digital IDs, vaccine passports, and CBDCs mandatory to participate in society by 2030. They just changed their names and keep pushing on with the same agenda, just changed their name. And think you won't notice. On November 8th, 2023, a launch event took place for what was termed the 50 and 5 agenda. The United Nations, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and partners of the Rockefeller Foundation are launching a campaign to accelerate digital ID, digital payments, and data sharing rollouts in 50 countries under the umbrella of Digital Public Infrastructure, DPI, by 2028. The United Nations Development Program has announced plans to roll out digital IDs worldwide by the year 2030. So they're starting with these 50 to work out the kinks and to get everything worked out, and they're going to roll it out to everyone. That's their plan. And it will be mandatory for people who wish to participate in society, say Reclaim the Net, who advocate for free speech and individual liberty online. The 50 and 5 bills itself as a country-led advocacy campaign. By 2028, the 50 and 5 campaign will have helped 50 countries design, launch, and scale components of their digital public infrastructure. According to the official announcement, the 50 countries are designated as global test beds, or guinea pigs, they say here, and it's exactly what it is. And the DPIs will first be unveiled in Africa and India, but the plan is to roll digital IDs globally by 2030 to include all citizens of UN member states, according to Planet Daily. The 50 and 5 campaign is also, unsurprisingly, a collaboration between Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the United Nations Development Program, the Digital Public Goods Alliance. The co-development was developed by Rockefeller Foundation and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They're all the same organizations, the same global elites, and it's all the same thing. They just changed their name. This is the Global ID, the Global Digital Currencies, and the Social Credit Score System. And they try to make it sound like it's the greatest thing in the world. It's for equity and to help everyone. But that's exactly what it is. You read into the details. It is the central bank digital currencies. It is the Social Credit Score System. It's all rolled into one. Let them have full, total control of pretty much everything. And guys, over here is the official World Economic Forum website, and they're talking about this right here in this article, but they make it sound like it's the greatest thing in the world. They're just trying to help people. They're worried about equity, and they're worried about the children, and blah, 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 blah. They do the same thing every time with these articles the World Economic Forum publishes. You can read this. I read this whole article down through here, and it's difficult to read this and even know what they're talking about the way they write these out. They try to make it sound like it's going to help the children. It's going to help equity around the world. It's going to be inclusive and blah, 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 blah. The same shit they've been preaching forever, but it's all about the same agenda. World domination takeover, a social credit score system, digital currency, and a world control grid of these foundations like the World Economic Forum and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Rockefellers. I mean, you can read down through here and read all this dribble if you want. I've done it, and he talks about all kinds of different stuff, but doesn't really make any sense unless you know what they're actually meaning. But they try to make it sound like it's just so great to help everyone. That's not the case. Here is, let's see here, guys. UN Gates Foundation 50 and 5 campaign aims to roll out digital public infrastructure. That's what it is. They want to control. It's a digital control grid through AI, through the Internet of Things, through social credit score systems, through central bank digital currencies. And they want to control the world by this whole system they want to put in. And now they're calling it 50 and 5 agenda or campaign. The 50 and 5 campaign is an agenda concocted by a coalition of unelected globalists to accelerate technocratic control through digital ID, exactly, CBDC, and massive data sharing. Data sharing, that is part of the social credit score system where they can just punch your name in, punch your number in, or whatever, and come up with everything you've done, everything you've said. And they want to also have where you have to have an ID to even get on to the internet. They want to be able to control, monitor, and surveil everything that you do through the social credit score system. And it's not going to be ran, by our own government, which would be bad enough. It's going to be ran by this globalist control cult. This article here goes through talking about this. They talk about the digital IDs, digital payments, and it's the same agenda founded by the Rockefeller Foundation. Same agenda, just a different name and a different day. I'm not going to read all this to you all because it's just too much to try to read in an article or a video here. But it just gets, it's frustrating to read all this crap and to see this. And you know what they're trying to do. Everybody should have digital ID, bank account, and smartphone tools of the new world. And this is the International Monetary Fund. And there is Melinda Gates. Don't know who these other people are exactly right off my head right now, guys. Spring meeting 2023, Washington, D.C., World Bank Group, International Monetary Fund. See, it's all the same people running all these things. All these globalists. 50 and 5 agenda, implementing digital public infrastructure safely and inclusively. See, those are the words I like to use. But I'll link these articles down in the description box below. You can check these out if you want. But you can see they talk about all these things and they make it sound so great. It's going to help everyone. It's going to be inclusive. We got to do this to help the children, to save the world. And that's not the case. Here is actually Bill Gates' ex-wife, Melinda Gates.
With the right investments, digital public infrastructure will help us accelerate progress across all the health and development goals. We know this because we're seeing it happen now. Under India's leadership, the G20 is advancing digital public infrastructure because it can help transform health.
Now, the thing is, guys, what does she have to do with anything? She is not when elected by anyone. She's not a leader of any country. She's not representative here in the United States. She's just rich and wants to make rules and regulations for everyone to control the world. Just like the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Rockefellers, Rothschilds.
Agriculture, banking, education, and more. Last December, I visited India to learn more about their digital transformation story, and I saw firsthand how women's lives in the communities they live in are being transformed by
women's lives are being transformed by this digital currency, this digital control grid system they're putting in, or so they tell us. Like I said, it's all for the women, it's all for the children, it's all for health, it's all for wealth, it's all for the benefit of humanity. We're just trying to help by enslaving the globe, which is their actual plan.
Digital payments. When a woman has control over her own money, everything changes.
There's nothing wrong with a woman having control of her own money. I don't know how this has anything to do with that, but they're using this to put it in your mind. Women are control of their own money. We're trying to help women. We're trying to help children. We're trying to help everyone. We're trying to help equity and inclusiveness, and that's the words they love to use. And equity, inclusiveness, and sustainability. That's their favorite 3 words right there.
So now we must ensure country leaders have the tools and expertise they
must ensure these unelected, global, super wealthy elites, they must ensure that countries has the ability because they control these countries behind the scenes. These are the actual permanent government.
Need to make this work. That's why our foundation is proud to support 50 in 5 alongside the World Bank and other partners. It's an example of collaboration, innovation, and smart investment. And it builds on the bank's Identification for Development initiative, which has been meeting the steady demand from countries to modernize ID and civil registration systems. By 2028, more than 500 million more people will have a digital identity.
Digital identity that ties into your social credit score system, your digital currency, your number. You're pretty much a prisoner on a prison planet. Your global ID.
That allows them to access employment and education opportunities more easily, as well as financial services, healthcare, and government programs.
Well, guys, as you can see, it's just wonderful. They want to help the children. They want to help the women. They want to help the white man, the black man, the Asian man, the red man. They want to help everyone. They want to be inclusive. They want to have equity. They want to have sustainability. It's all for your benefit. It's all about central bank digital currency control, social credit score system, and the whole Agenda 2030. But now they're trying to call this whole thing 50 in 5. They think no one will notice. They just changed their name to 50 in 5 instead of Agenda. It was Agenda 2030. Then it was the Great Reset. Now it's 50 in 5. I mean, same thing, different name, different day. And while we're looking over here, what's going on with Israel, Hamas, and the war over there, which is important, and I'm not downplaying that. They've been putting in this system, working on this. You're going to have 50 countries have this put in now. They're going to work out all the kinks and everything, get it all working smoothly. But their goal is to put it over the whole entire world. They want to control the globe, and this is the way they're going to do it with these digital IDs, this global ID system. You'll have a number. You'll be citizen 1, 2, 10, 12. You will have your number tied in with everything you've ever done. You have to use it when you go online. You'll have to be using, that'll be, it's kind of like a social security number. However, it's going to be of everything that you've ever done. It's going to be in the Internet of Things, controlled, monitored by AI, and with your social credit score system. You're going to have central bank digital currencies. It's the whole globalist agenda. So, no, this isn't over. They're still pushing for this. They keep pushing right along, and no doubt, pretty much everything we're seeing right now in the Middle East is probably to help push this forward somehow. They are always working. They're always trying to go 10 steps ahead to get this global system put in, and their goal is to have this all put in by 2030. Whether they will or not remains to be seen, but they are making great strides toward that, and now they've just changed the name from Agenda, the Great Reset, Agenda 2030, to 50 in 5. Anyway, if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. And Creekmore Matter, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.